Red flags are the negatives that people should look out for.
One common red flags that people often ignore in early relationship.
Every relationship thrives on the moment I'm becoming defensive. Why are you asking me? That is not acceptable in a relationship. You need to know the person.
Hello, welcome back to our channel. Hope you're doing well. So today I have a wonderful guest with me, and we'll be talking about something very important. We'll just be having a chat around it. So welcome with me, Mr. Alake. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
You're welcome, man.
It's great having you here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah. So today we'll be talking about red flags. Red flags. So to begin with, what's your understanding about on red flags in relationship?
Oh, it's good we are limiting it to relationship. Generally, red flags are the negatives that people should look out for. Things that you know that they are no for you. In case, okay, for instance, for someone that is going into a relationship, you should know what you cannot compromise on, the ground that you know that when these things happen, you won't be able to go forward with the relationship. Those are things that are terms or known as red flags.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. So what is one common red flags that people often ignore in early relationship?
In most relationship, I can say people ignore the seemingly simple attitude of care, compassion, and empathy in relationship because of other things that they think or at that material time overshadow what we can call empathy. But for me, I believe no relationship should be able to go forward if that empathy is not there, because you get to a point in your life and that relationship that without that empathy, the relationship will be broken down beyond the repair.
Broken down beyond repairs. That brings me to one of the movies. I just wanted to analyze this scenario. I actually saw a movie last week, and there was this particular lady that met a guy in a church evangelism group. So he happens to be new to the church, and this guy was all over the place, giving insightful ideas on how to win soul for the kingdom. This lady's just look, she's from a well-to-do home and she's doing well for herself. So she looked at the guy with so much love. I was like, oh dear, this is all that I needed in a man. And the guy eventually approached her and they fell in love, so to put it. And before you know it, the guy told her that he's into oil and gas and all that, but he's having challenges with his hotels. He moved in with the girl eventually because he asked the girl, can you please accommodate me for a while and all that? So the girl gave in, or the lady gave in. So, and at the end of the day, not only did this guy, duped her, the guy abused her, both verbally and he gave her the beating of her life at some point. So that's to bring us to this. What is your takes on, one comes to you, approach you, probably as a lady, and into relationship, when is too soon or when is too late to give a yes answer?
Yeah, it borders on what we've said earlier. The foundation of every relationship should be, you need to know the person. If you don't have clear knowledge of the person you are relating with, you will not have a full understanding of what they are capable of doing. If she had been patient enough to study to pay attention, and if she's really, if she, that person in question is a Christian, she will have prayed, seek God's face or with respect to the relationship in question. And I believe our God is not an author of confusion.
Yeah.
And God always speak clearly to his own. I know the Bible is our guide, and it's very instructive in this situation. The Bible says secret things belong to God, and those that are meant for you and your children shall be revealed unto you. If that person should not go, if God didn't want the lady to go forward with the relationship, I believe if she had seek the face of God, she will not be in that kind of precarious situation. And having said that, it is expected that if they had courted for a while, even maybe the guy in question was not even dealing with oil and gas, it is just a matter of knowing the person. If you don't know that person, you will not know if their lifestyle, how are they funding it? Are they fraudulent? Do they have tendencies of having that personality that will have trait of domestic violence in relationship or marriage? Or is this person I'm about to start a relationship with, will the person be able to get me to the place of fulfillment in my relationship or marriage? So if all these elements are not present, you cannot be able to definitely say you will be able to stay with this person and you can see all these elements. I will advise that no person should go forward if you are not sure of the person's personality. There is no person, no human being that is attached to that person that the person is answerable to, and you didn't seek the face of God or get any go ahead from God, which is like the primary and the foundation of every relationship. Sure. God should be the foundation of every relationship, because everything was orchestrated, everything about marriage was orchestrated by God. So you cannot talk about marriage, relationship without talking about God.
Thank you very much. So the summary of what you've just said is that no rushing whatsoever, which is very important. One step at a time. Yes. So, and I should ask this, that what is we have various temperaments and we have various personality. So someone that you're in relationship with, if that person do not post your picture on social media, is it a red flag?
Generally, it will be wrong to outrightly say it's a red flag. It still borders on, there should be reason for everything. So you look into it. What is informing the decision of this person not posting my picture on social media? Before now, is this person a private person? Is this person generally used to posting their own pictures or other people or persons in their life? If they post pictures of other person, you can ask them. You should not even be in a relationship where you cannot vent your opinion, where you cannot vent your mind, tell them what you feel and how you feel. And there should not be any issue where that you guys will not be able to trash out at every given point. So walk up to the person, you ask the person, why have you not been posting my pictures on social media? I love it and I will appreciate it if you can do it for me. Or if the person gives you a tenable reason and you can reason along with the person, I'm sure they will be able to meet halfway.
Thank you very much. This reminds me of was it 3 days after our wedding? My husband already posted our wedding pictures on social media, and he just looked at me. I was like, well, I don't really even know what is going on. He wasn't having a conversation with me. We're just like speaking aloud. I don't know what is really going on with you, that you decide, I don't know who you're hiding this marriage from. You did not post a single one on WhatsApp, not to even talk about on Facebook, and this is already 3 days after the wedding. And I was like, I'm not hiding a wedding from anyone. This is just my life. I can go, if you go and check my picture on Facebook, I think I post majorly once every year.
Wow.
And that's like on my birthday. So WhatsApp, even there are some years, if you have to count it, there are some years you will see my picture. It just depends on my mood. So, like what you said, one cannot act rightly. You have to study the personality.
I would just generally say it's different stroke for different folks.
Yes.
So because someone very close to you is doing it, does not mean that your partner will do it or should do it. The most important thing is you guys being able to talk about it. And then you know that if my partner really fancy me posting them or posting hers as couple, there should not be anything stopping me from posting for my partner, even though it is not one of those things that I fancy to do.
And that comes to the place of adjustment too in relationship. Yeah, I'm learning. I think I'm better there now than before anyway. So, can being too jealous be a red flag in relationship, or is it just a show of love?
I will not say there is nothing like being too jealous. So it is just what do I do when I'm jealous? Do I go ballistic? Can I control myself? What is my do I have ability, these requisite skills to manage my emotion? How good is my emotional intelligence? Am I smart to be able to manage my emotion and tell my person, oh, I'm not comfortable with this thing that you're doing with this person. Can you just, for me, so that I will feel good in my skin and in my person, adjust this? It still borders on, believe me, there is no relationship in this world wide, not just marriage. Even the relationship between two companies cannot thrive if there is no conversation, if there is no communication.
True.
Every relationship thrives on the foundations of conversation, deliberation, meeting at that point where you come middle point. Everybody drop, oh, I'm dropping this for you, you're dropping this for me. It's called bargaining power. So I will tell you, this is what I'm doing for you, this is what you're doing for me. That is what people call communication. So without that communication, there's no relationship that can thrive.
Thank you very much, sir. So what's the financial red flag that people should watch out for in relationship?
If your partner is not accountable, I believe accountability is very important. If you are earning 20, even if your partner is not telling you, bring the money, or you should be able to tell your partner, this is what I'm using with the money, even if they are not reasonable. If your partner asks you, you don't need to be defensive. But the moment your partner is becoming defensive about the way they spend their own money, if they want to tell you, my money is my money, your money is our money.
Our money.
Something is on. But the most important thing is be accountable. Know that come what me, if my wife should ask me, babe, how did you spend the money? I should be able to give a clear-cut explanation of how the money was spent. So the moment I'm becoming defensive, why are you asking me? That is not acceptable in relationship.
So now, if we are to relate this to the singles out there that are yet to come into the wedlock, like get married, but they are intending to. So what could be these financial red flags for them?
Recklessness.
Okay.
In the what they call single persons that are not married, you know that your partner is reckless.
Reckless spender.
There's no planning with respect to the way they spend. If they make 1 million today, they can be penniless tomorrow. So there's no, I'm saving for the rainy days, and this is what I'm spending for this. There is no budgeting, so to say. Accountability is still like, are they accountable to themselves too? So there is no one that will be accountable to anyone if they are not accountable to themselves. I should be able to give account of how I spend my money to myself. And I should know that the money that I made today, I might not be able to make it tomorrow. Having in mind that things don't turn out the way we plan it. So what happened in the event of me not being able to make money tomorrow? How will I survive tomorrow?
Okay, thank you for that, sir. And I once a lady once came to me, and the lady asked me a question, about this financial aspect. She had somebody that they intended getting married to. They're getting married. But what happened is she's more financial independent than this guy. The guy is just picking on jobs like anything that comes today, no steady form of income. But this lady, she has savings and she has a very good job. So she came asking that for advice that could she go into a relationship, like they're already into a relationship rather, can they get
Move
married?
to the next level.
Yes, move to the next level at that stage.
I'm a student of the scripture, and the Bible is always instructive in every situation. Can two work together unless they agree? So if they really want to proceed, there should be some level of agreement. What are we building? How are we building? When do we want to start building? So if you can ask the question some people call WH question, you'll be able to know that we are ready to move. If you cannot answer this question, it is not advisable to move. Maybe the person that is financially independent is ready and she has been able to answer all those questions, but the young man is still struggling to figure his life. There is nothing wrong with not having a stable income, but are you ready to build? Marriage relationship is building, and you will not stop building until both of you breathe your last breath. It is a continuing thing. It is not. It's some people
one
call
of something.
Yeah, it's not a one of. There is difference between marathon and relay race. So you do it gradually. So is the young man ready to build with her? So if they are ready to build, it means that they are ready to pull resources together. It doesn't matter who gets what, when, and how, and the quantity of what they are bringing to the table is not material. It is not fundamental in this situation. What is very important, are they ready to pull their resources together to build? If both of them agree to build together, believe me, sky will be their starting point.
Thank you, sir, for that. So should I be concerned as a person in a relationship if my partner or my partner to be always talk so badly about their previous relationship? Is it a sign of red flag?
It will be unfair to generally say there is no rocket science or all these things, and you cannot put them in a watertight container. You should be flexible with it. If my partner is saying negative things about their past experience, why? What happened? It still borders on, let's talk about it. I want to know why. Nobody talk what without why. So if my partner is talking about someone treating them badly, number one, I should empathize. I should say, oh, so sorry that you have to go through all of that. So why do you think that person was treating you like that? Then that will give you insight into why they are coming from the place of hurt and pain. Then you'll be able to tell them or support them to heal. And if you don't ask why, you will not know how to support them to heal. And if they don't heal from the pain or hurt of the past, they will continue to chunk out those negativity, and it will in turn affect your relationship, because in low distance time, your partner will be seeing you
exactly
as the people from the past. And there are some things that you do that they ascribe meaning of the past to.
That's true.
For both of you to go forward, it is instructive for you guys to sit together, ask why. What can I do to support you? It is important that we let go of the past, because it's good to talk about the past, but we cannot allow our background to put our back on the ground.
Yeah.
You understand? Your past is your background, is in the past. Now. We want to talk about the future. So going forward, what can we do together to forget the past? It is not your partner alone. it is now both of you in that situation.
situation.
So it is important that the other partner sees that situation as our situation. Let's address this situation together. Let's solve it. Then let's get to the bottom of the foundation of it, resolve it, then move forward together.
So everything still boils down on communication, having proper conversations.
You can't lift a finger in relationship without communication.
Thank you, sir, for that. So can ignoring small boundaries be considered as a red flag?
Yes. Boundaries are very important. I'll still have to go back to communication. Boundaries should be set at the initial stage. I love my wife so much, and I'm sure it's vice versa. My wife can attest to the fact that if you just fold a paper, write something, script something, I'm not interested in what is in the paper. It's the same way you fold, like that paper was folded, that's how I will pass it to her. I don't go about browsing through my wife's phone. I'm not interested okay, maybe because of our background. Both of us, we are coming from legal background where you have some valuable relationship with your client. I have a lot of confidential information on my gadget, on my phone. My wife is not expected to be browsing through all those information because she was not the one that those relationships were established with. So if those information were to slip out of her mouth mistakenly after she caught wind of those information, it might cost me my professional career. You understand? So those boundaries must be set at the initial stage. These are our goals, these are our do's, these are our don'ts, these are this. You can do this, we can do. It doesn't mean that you are pulling them apart or you don't want them to be part of your life. But everybody need to know where they stand, how they stand, and the extent you can get to in every situation and circumstances.
That's very, very
Boundaries
insightful.
are very important.
Yes.
If I will reiterate again, they are very, very important.
Thank you for that. So should we consider it a red flag if your partner never apologizes or admits that they are wrong?
It is not a red flag until they are adamant that they will not change or they will not see it as boundary. It becomes a red flag when they are. In fact, the fact that they are not teachable is a red flag. Anybody that is not teachable in life, you learn, you relearn, unlearn, and relearn. It's a process. You have to continue to recycle those processes until you attain perfection. Nobody become better by sticking to who they used to be. You understand? I used to tell my wife that I was not born with any spoon. People talk about silver spoon. I attended one of the worst secondary school in the world, where from SS1 to SS3 I used just 160 leave, and I was unable to finish it for all the subjects. So you understand? So I believe everybody should be able to learn again, then unlearn. Just ask your partner, this thing I want to do it, this thing I don't want to do it. Then that's something. But anybody that is not teachable, if you don't want to understand that this is my partner's boundary and I don't want to learn not to do what my partner is saying is their boundary, I'm not sure they should even be together, because if you overlook that my wife can attest to the fact that being a legal practitioner, we've seen a lot of homes and marriages of 30, 40 years. Even people have their children in our institution of learning saying that they are done. Why?
After many years.
So to some people it is not reasonable, but it because that person has been enduring that person invading and encroaching those boundaries all those years for some reason. But it gets to a point where they believe they've attained some level of independence. Oh, I'm doing this for my children. All my children are all grown up. They are married. We don't need this man. I really don't need this man in my life to continue to encroach my boundaries. Then the woman will want out. So that thing that you still don't want will still happen.
Eventually.
So to forestall and to avoid that thing happening in the future, you guys should just go your separate way.
That's
A lot of people always say that it's better to have a broken relationship than
a broken
marriage.
marriage. I think I also agree with that. Respecting one privacies, like considering boundary, is very, very important in relationship. I remember, I think when back in our institution, I got into relationship, I think 500 level. Yeah, 500 level. I do tell my husband now, I do tell him then that, say, anytime from this also time, I'm not going to pick your call. And anytime from this time, you can't visit me. And anytime you visit me, because I jokingly, we used to use the word like, it comes, I allow him, even though my dad must not hear this, but we hear it eventually. My dad would tell me,
Somebody you have to get to know from this person.
he knew I was in a relationship then he will always tell me, you two must not stay in the same room without a third party, okay? Any conversation should be outside your room. You must now, there are times like that we just come over and I will just tell him that, okay, young man,
It's
are you
time
ready?
to go.
Are you ready to become a father? I will just
That is you sounding like my wife in our relationship. My wife say, we are Christian, 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 we are Christian. We should not be in this place.
I'll just tell him, are you ready to be a father? Immediately he hears that word, we just stand up from the chair. And we can, once we step outside, we can still have like over an hour conversation again. But any temptation that might be building up in that space has been overcome. And that's another the same way of respecting boundaries, of setting boundaries and of respecting boundaries. And even up till now, I can't remember, I picking up phone or he picking up my phone to just for the sake of checking my chats and all that. So boundaries is very, 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 very important.
In my marriage, I can tell you, my wife she has access to all my passwords, from my mail to my socials, everything, all my passwords, and she will not still check. And I have access to all her password, and I'll still not check. It's still the fact is the most important thing in that situation is giving that person that level of trust, and you are cocksure
That's the word.
that they will still not break it.
That's the word.
You
Trust.
understand? Trust is very important, and if there is no trust, then there won't be boundary. If there is no boundary, there will not be trust. They work hand in hand. They
work hand in hand. All right. To round up the sections today, I would just like you to, give a general advice to the singles out there and also those that are married on this issue of red flag, when it's just a general advice for them on.
Now, for singles, don't marry or don't even start anything with someone that you don't know. There is no point rushing to start what you will rush to finish. Take your time, ask all the questions, know yourself and know the question and why you are asking those questions and the answers that you want. And until all the answers are provided, there is no rush. Always stand your ground. Say no until you get all your yes. For married people, continue to build and always ask yourself. I always go back to our marriage vows. I reiterate all those vows to myself. These are things that I promised this lady. And until I will always fulfill all these things each day. So that is the constant reminder to tell my wife that even when my wife is not there, I will always be your husband in every day, in every situation, in every circle. So until you are ready to take up that responsibility of loving that person, come what may, this is for married people. Always love your wife, always love your partner in every situation, and always remember your marital vow, and always be ready to stand by it. And your marital vow should be your purpose your marriage. If the purpose of a thing is not known, that is when you can abuse it.
Yes.
So know your purpose in that relationship and know that you are not doing it for yourself. You are doing it because God has called both of you together. And if you fail that young man or that young lady, you are failing God. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. It has been a very, very insightful section. Thank you, sir, for coming to the Loaded Couple platform. Thank you. We really appreciate your time.
Believe me, loaded couples have been very loaded. Thank you for having us. It's a real privilege coming to your platform. And thank you for counting us worthy to come to your platform. It has been insightful, it has been educating and sensitive. In every ramification, we thank you. We pray that God will take your ministry and your platform to the next level.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us in today's sections of the Loaded Couple. This section was not really for couples alone. It was for both singles and married. So do well to subscribe to our channel, likes, and visit our other social media platform. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.